Take a slow breath and allow your attention to settle. Let the pace of your thoughts slow slightly. Now imagine you are sitting in a meeting where an important proposal has just been presented. Perhaps you have outlined the structure of a partnership that could open new opportunities for your business. Perhaps you have proposed terms for a client agreement that has been developing over several conversations. Or perhaps you have just shared a strategic plan that requires approval from several decision makers in the room. You explain the idea clearly. You describe how the structure would work. You answer a few initial questions. Then something interesting happens. The room becomes quiet. No one speaks immediately. One person studies the document in front of them. Another leans back slightly in their chair. Someone else reviews a note they wrote earlier. The silence lasts longer than expected. Your mind begins reacting. Should you clarify something? Should you add more explanation before doubts appear? Should you strengthen the reasoning behind the proposal? You notice the natural impulse to start speaking again. But instead of filling the silence, you pause. You take a slow breath. And you allow the quiet to remain for a moment. Silence in conversations like this often carries information. Sometimes people are carefully considering what has been presented. Sometimes they are observing how confident you appear while the room is quiet. And sometimes they are simply waiting to see who becomes uncomfortable first. When someone rushes to fill the silence, they often reveal more than they intended. Extra explanations can introduce new questions. Additional details can weaken a structure that was already clear. So you remain calm. You allow the proposal to stand on its own. After a few seconds, someone finally looks up and asks a practical question about implementation. Another person begins discussing how the proposal might affect their team. The conversation begins moving again. But something important has changed. The discussion is now responding to the structure you presented rather than reacting to extra explanations. A little later in the meeting, another moment appears. One of the decision makers asks, "How flexible are these terms?" The question sounds simple, but questions like this can mean several different things. Sometimes someone is exploring where adjustments might be possible. Sometimes they are testing how quickly the structure of the agreement might shift. Instead of answering immediately, you slow the moment slightly. You respond calmly. Which part of the structure are you thinking about adjusting? Now the conversation becomes more precise. The discussion moves toward a specific section of the proposal. Other parts remain steady. And the room begins focusing on the details that truly matter. Take another slow breath. Notice how the situation feels different now. At first, the silence created uncertainty. It felt like something that needed to be filled quickly. But now you see the moment more clearly. The quiet was not empty. It was information. It allowed the room to process the proposal. It revealed where attention naturally moved. And it showed how people responded when the structure remained steady. Confidence in conversations like this is often communicated through patience. When someone remains calm during uncertainty, the discussion begins organizing itself around the structure they presented. The room senses that the proposal does not need constant reinforcement. It can scan on its own. And sometimes the most powerful move in a conversation is not adding more words. It is allowing the moment to unfold long enough to see what the silence is revealing.